And how often have you heard this? The very moment your friends find out you're afraid to fly, they will kill you with logic. They'll go, more people die in car wrecks than they do plane crashes. I go, so? That's the way I want to go. Damn car wreck. At least if you die in a car wreck, they can retrieve the body. And we need that because I'm Baptist. You give us something to embalm and some tater salad, we can have a funeral. You know. This ashes in an urn shit ain't for us. Oh, no. Hell no, we're gonna throw dirt on somebody. We do respond to every tragedy in life with food. A damn covered dish. Hell, we're not going to somebody's door and say, sorry to hear about your son-in-law, here's some baked beans. You know. We would come here for a minute, but your Walmart closes at 9. I put on some weight recently. We had, back in the summer, we had a funeral in my family. And being Baptist, there was food there. You know, we respond to every tragedy in life with food. A covered dish. Oh, we'll knock on somebody's door and go, sorry to hear about your son-in-law, here's some baked beans. We would come in for a minute, but you know Walmart closes at 9. And if I'm going to go to that funeral, I got to me something nice to wear. This is what I've told people over the years, is they would ridicule me about my fear of flying. And you've heard this logic, too. They'll always go, more people die in car wrecks than they do plane crashes. I go, so? That's the way I want to go. Car wreck. Where I'm from, it's kind of like a tradition. We don't have heart attacks in my family. We just cross the median. Usually on the weekend. Just out drinking. Sometimes it's because we wave back at somebody up on the porch. Like, Well, see, let me tell you something. At least if you die in a car wreck, they can always retrieve the body. And being Baptist, we need that. You give us something to embalm and some tater salad, we can have a funeral. This ashes in an urn ain't for us. Oh no, we're gonna throw dirt on somebody. Let me tell y'all something. If you hear a Baptist talk about cremating, that's not a full-blood Baptist. He probably married outside his faith. If a Baptist talks about burning something, it's going to be biscuits or leaves. It's not going to be Uncle Larry. Could you imagine us even talking like this? Somebody going, well, I hear your grandfather passed away. What kind of service y'all going to have? Well, here's what we thought we'd do. Since we cook out a lot anyhow. You know, people should laugh every day. It's good for you. The problem is you can't go out and see a comedian every night of the week. You people have got to learn to amuse yourselves. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips. Like, for instance, the next time you're the lead car in a funeral procession, make a wrong turn. Oh, what the heck? Lead everybody through a car wash. Hot wax for the bereaved. They like that, you know. And my favorite thing, you can do this anytime. The next time you're in the supermarket, put things in other people's buggy when they're not looking. behind them in the checkout line. I swear, you'll see them, they're just like this, like. I don't remember getting that. Then they'll pay for it. I got crazy kinfolks. Y'all have crazy kinfolks? I mean, we love them, but, you know, I got one now. I had lunch with him 3 days ago. He's bragging, always bragging about something. He's bragging about a brand new 6-quart crock pot. And he don't have it yet because he's got it on layaway. And he tells me, he acts like it's the greatest thing in the world. He asked me, he said, do you have a crock pot? I said, no, I don't have a crock pot. You ought to get one. I said, I don't need one. He said, here's what you can do with a crock pot. You can put a raw chicken in a crock pot early in the morning, turn it on low, and when you come home from work that evening, it'll be ready to eat. Ain't that something? And I said, that's good, but you don't work. Like you're home all day, you know. The reason he's home all the time is because he's never had a full-time job, because I don't think he knows how to fill out a job application. Where it says nearest relative, he'll put 12 miles. In case of emergency call, he write in like 911. Just crazy, crazy people. But it's good to be here. By the way, I got here about an hour ago, and I saw some of y'all outside. They had food here today, but outside the studio. It was wonderful, wonderful food. As you can tell, I love food. I tried every diet that don't work. A diet that I hated the most. A few years ago, they had this diet called the Stillman water diet. the Stillman water diet. You had to drink 18 glasses of water every 24 hours. I lost 2 pounds in one day. My bladder fell out. But I love good food. Have you noticed that young people today don't know how to eat real good? Young folks, they get politically correct on what to eat. I work and travel with other comedians. Some of these guys, bless their heart, these are weird guys. I mean, they're 25, 30 years old. We always stay at the same hotel. They'll call my hotel room and they'll go, we going out running. You want to go? And I'm like, do what? We go run. You going? I'm like, no. But if you happen to cross a Krispy Kreme, you can bring me something back, you know. And I hate to go out to eat with them, especially, I love to go to the truck stops. And this is a true story that happened in Nashville just about, a year ago. They had me working with a 25-year-old comedian. We went to a truck stop, not a 4-star Mediterranean restaurant. This is a truck stop. We sat down, 2 comedians surrounded by truckers. Waitress comes over, big woman, not a lot of teeth. All this young guy wanted was a salad. Nothing wrong with that. But he asked this truck stop waitress, did she know whether or not any of those salad ingredients had ever been exposed to any type of pesticides? She said, well, we spray for roaches every now and then, but I don't think none got on the lettuce. A few minutes later, she put the food in front of him. He looked at it. I didn't know it come with cheese on it. I can't eat that. I'm lactose intolerant. She said, honey, that's not lactose cheese. That's cheddar cheese. You see, I wouldn't make fun of these guys if they would leave the rest of us alone. But the ones I just described to you, they have the audacity to make fun of my food. They will point at my food and they'll go, do you know what that greasy food's going to do to you? I'm like, yeah, fill me up. I have to eat that way. I need to maintain my strength because I'm usually one of the pallbearers when my healthy friends drop dead working out. I love what they don't love. I love chicken fried steak, extra gravy, mashed potatoes, extra gravy. I was a grown man before I realized that gravy was not a beverage. Cornbread and a lot of butter. When I say butter, I eat real butter. You young folks, get yourself some real butter. Stay away from that phony stuff. You see it all the time. Heart healthy and smart balance and the popular one, I can't believe it's not butter. Well, hell, I can. They also have, I can't believe it's not butter spray. Like, pss, pss. Listen, it's a butter mist. Pss, pss, pss. Trust me on this. If your daughter marries a guy who sprays his butter, there ain't gonna be no grandkids. I enjoy talking to you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Remember why your mother and out of work. They keep filling out job applications. Nobody calls them back. The next time you fill out a job application, do it for you. Have some fun with it. Say it's an insult anyway. It's 3 pages long. Stupid questions like, how many foreign languages can you speak? As if we're going to need this at the Waffle House. In every application you've ever filled out in your life, they got a place on there for you to put down your hobbies. They want to know about your hobbies. Why? Next time, put down bowling, breakdancing, or having fits, either one. Picking up aluminum cans. Driving around the neighborhood looking for cracks in the asphalt. And killing dogs. And where it says nearest relative, put 12 miles. And don't just forget about it. Go back every day and sit in their lobby. Stare at it. Tell them you want to change something on the application. For a split second, they'll have hope for you. Say, yeah, I don't kill dogs no more. Mark that out. Cats, I'm killing cats. And you all know that this is true. Look, we respond to every tragedy in life with food. A covered dish. We'll knock on somebody's front door and go, sorry to hear about your son-in-law. Here's some baked beans. And by the way, and speaking of a covered dish, you ever notice how people will spend more time talking about the food and who brought which dish than they do the poor fellow who died? Here's this guy, he hasn't even been buried yet. But all the conversation is going like this. Well, I see Elizabeth brought that macaroni salad. I knew she'd do this. I guarantee you one thing, if it had been somebody on her side of the family, she'd have brought some kind of meat. When my cousin died, now we're talking about my side of the family, he's the one who drilled himself to death. Hey lady, this ain't funny. What happened was he had this high-powered Black & Decker drill, and he was going to put the screw back in his cowboy belt buckle. I told him, I said, I think I'll take that belt off first. He said, don't tell me how to use my drill. I said, okie dokie. He gets about halfway through and sneezes. Anyway, when he died, that being my side of the family, guess what she showed up with? 11 deviled eggs. Now, who in the world makes an odd number of deviled eggs? We think she ate one on the way over here. But here's the way the Baptists do it. The moment we hear someone has been admitted into the hospital, we go grocery shopping. When we hear they have been moved into intensive care, we start cooking. And if they should get better, we'll just freeze it. Every American should go to Huntsville, Alabama, once a year, just to get in touch with reality. And let me explain that to you. The whole country is so complicated we can't keep up with it. The people of Huntsville are trying single-handedly to keep it simple, like God intended. Of course, now, if you're from Huntsville, you don't say Huntsville. You say Huntsville. But, now listen, the main thoroughfare through that city up there is Memorial Parkway. They built a big shopping mall there. They named it The Mall. I like that. Here's what they would have done somewhere else. They would have appointed committees, spent thousands of dollars to come up with just the right name. Not up there. They went to the people. And they said, what should we name this? And the people said, well, what are you building? They said, we're building a mall. And the people of Huntsville said, well, God, no. Yeah, I got a suggestion for you. Powerball is $29 million. I've got 100 tickets and a gut feeling that I'm going to win the money. And here's how you'll know if I do. You'll never see my fat ass again. I know that here in Alabama you don't have a lottery, but when the jackpot gets like, to use your expression, way on up there, y'all will drive to the state line, but you just won't mess with it for $2 million. I know I got friends here in Birmingham, and I'll be talking to them on the phone from Atlanta, and I'll say, would you like me to get you some tickets this week? And they'll go, oh no, what's it up to? I go, well, it's just $2 million. They'll go, no, hell, I ain't gonna mess with it. Like if it's just $2 million, I just shouldn't stay here at Jiffy Lube. And you know what? You know people like this too. You know when you talk about winning the lottery, I think people are just embarrassed to admit that they would quit their job. People say this about winning the lottery and working, they'll go, oh, I don't think I'd quit working altogether. Now, what the hell does that mean? You got $15 million, but you're still going to get up early 2 mornings a week and go into Shoney's and set up that breakfast bar. Well, I'm the only one who knows how to do it. I mean, see, people ask me all the time. They say, now, James, I know you joke around a lot, but seriously, with the kind of job you've got, if you won that lottery, would you really quit working? I go in a heartbeat. They go, well, what would you do? What would you do? I said, I sat on my front porch naked and wave at cars. See, if you've got $15 million, you can sit on your front porch naked. A family of 4 can drive by in a station wagon, and a little kid will point up there and go, look, Mama, that man's naked. She said, I know, honey, but he's got $15 million. They just call that eccentric, you know. But I'll tell you this. On those rare occasions when the jackpot gets to $15 million, and in the Georgia Lotto, it's only happened 3 times in 3 years, but when it's $15 million, everybody I know has got a handful of tickets. And it's late Saturday evening, they're all sitting out on the front porch, and they start fantasizing and talking among themselves about what they're going to do with the money if they win. You ought to hear my kin people talk. I've got some dumb-ass cousins. Oh, he'll go, what would I do? Hell, I'll tell you what I'd do. $15 million. You damn right I know what I'd do. I'd put a new roof on this house. I'd go down to that lottery office on Monday, get someone to take me down there. My car's broke. Get my check. Come back here, get out the yellow pages, turn to R, call me a roofing company. Tell them, hell, I didn't care what it cost. And I might go ahead and get that back porch screened in. And then they'll go, and if there's enough left, I'm like, maybe you ought to go to night school. Yeah. I work more days per year than any other comedian, and that includes the comedians who are household names and those you've never heard of. This year, as an example, there's been, I think about 100 days in this year so far, and I've worked 89 of those.
James Gregory appeals to everybody. I've never seen anybody who didn't enjoy his show.
He's extremely funny, one of the funniest men. He's billed as the funniest man in America.
See, there are certain things it takes to be a headliner. You can either go on Carson one time and you're automatically a headliner. You be on Letterman one time, you're automatically a headliner. You can, and believe this or not, this is unbelievable to you. You can have a bit part in any movie where you had one scene, and you'll be a headliner automatically, you know. Now, since I had none of that, I had to earn the headline spot. And the way I did that was always being funnier than anybody else on the show. I would say that 90% of all my material is based on something that really happened, or it's very close to something that really happened that gave me an idea. Most of my comedy is based on everyday occurrences that average people can relate to. And I do think that's one reason that I've been as successful as I have.
I tell you what, You pay close attention and see if this right here for most of you out there tonight, see if this don't bring back some precious, fond childhood memories to you about your mother and that covered dish. You think back a long time ago now when you was like, oh, just yay big. It'd be late in the evening, early night time. Everybody's out on the front porch after supper, about half asleep. Pot roast to do that to you. Remember, those were the good old days in America where a mother forced the kids to overeat. Made them eat. All right, y'all don't eat all that pot roast. I ain't going to make another one. Well, hell. Do you remember this? Remember as a little kid, we'd all be sitting on the doorsteps, the kid would. All the grown folks could spend an hour discussing among themselves the last time it came a good rain. To a small kid, that never made no sense. But we couldn't say nothing back in those days. You couldn't back talk your folks. But they'd be sitting on the front porch, somebody would go, boy, we sure could use a good rain. Hell, it ain't rained real good since that last Friday in May. Somebody's going, no, hell, it's rained since then. No, I'll tell you how I know. They're Friday before Memorial Day. Memorial Day is last Monday in May. Friday before that, my car broke down on I-20. Had to walk 3 miles to the payphone. I got soaked. Last damn Friday in May. So I said, no, I'll tell you what. It rained the second Saturday in June. Reason you don't know, you was in jail that weekend. Then he said, well, that wasn't my fault. If y'all got a bondsman, I could have got out there on Friday. Then somebody else will say, well, anyway, we need rain. Well, yeah, I didn't say we didn't need no rain. And in our little hearts as children, we were sitting on the doorstep thinking to ourselves, who gives a right size when it rains?
They have some food for us down the hall. James Gregory, our comedian friend from Atlanta, every time I look down there in the food line, you are down there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I've gained 3 or 4 pounds the past 2 days. Somebody asked me, they said, James, I think you're putting on weight. I said, well, I just had breakfast. Sometimes, it depends on what time of day you get back there. Sometimes I'm the only one eating the real food. At lunch yesterday, they had sugar-free brand muffins. I asked the lady, I said, are you kidding me? Sugar-free means it's not sweet. There's no vanilla chocolate frosting. There's no cream cheese in the middle. There's no jelly. That's what I used to call a rock, you know. I noticed, and I learned in traveling, when I do my comedy shows, there's always another comedian on the show with me. And it's usually a guy that's much younger. Like age-wise, he's a generation behind me. And I don't know where in the dickens these young guys, I don't know where their mother was. I mean, these guys were not raised right. I mean, they don't smoke. A lot of them don't even drink. Yeah. I mean, ain't that odd? It's like working with little girls, really. I mean, we go out to lunch. I'm embarrassed to go to lunch with them. I wouldn't be embarrassed if these were women. These are grown men in a public restaurant, a 5-page menu, and what do they get? Tuna tomato. Tuna tomato. Or an $8 Caesar salad. You think about this now. It's 4 ounces of romaine lettuce. 4 ounces. And they go, it's just $7.95. Let's all get one. I'd get a whole bucket of chicken for $8. And everybody's in this health craze now. The political correctness is even taking over our eating habits. I'm just not going to jump on that bandwagon. I mean, I went to the doctor. I had a complete physical from head to toe in 1968. Why do I need a second opinion? I mean, and they'll make fun of my food because while they're sitting there grazing around their lunch, they just graze and interrogate the waiter. Was this butter? Is this margarine? Was this fried? Was this grilled? Come on, eat. Just eat. You know? While they're going through all that, I'm sitting there with chicken fried steak, extra gravy, mashed potatoes, extra gravy, a lot of cornbread, a lot of butter, and I mean real butter. None of that little wimpy stuff like, I can't believe it's not butter. Come on. And they also have, I can't believe it's not butter spray. It's a butter mist. I'm going to tell you all something. If your daughter is dating a guy who sprays his butter, there's not going to be any grandkids. I'm just telling you. I come from a background. My mother used to say that an empty stomach is the devil's playground. You know how some people say, I can't do so-and-so on an empty stomach. I can't do so-and-so on an empty stomach. My family, we can't eat on an empty stomach. If we're awake, we're eating, you know. But those young guys I just talked about, they'll make fun of me. They'll point at my food. And they'll go, you know what that greasy food's going to do to you? I'm like, yeah, fill me up. I have to eat that way. I need to maintain my strength. Because I'm usually one of the pallbearers. when my healthy friends drop dead working out. And we all know that does happen, you know. And we had a young fellow, a radio personality in Atlanta, Georgia. This was on the news. He worked at a radio station. He dropped dead. He was 31 years old, 31. And he was, after work, he'd go to the gym and he'd work out. He was trying to press weight X number of pounds and had a heart attack. And they talk about what a tragedy that was. I'm thinking, well, you know, come on. You're lifting heavy stuff after you've punched out. Who would do that? I'm off work, let me go lift something heavy. The reason I'm still kicking, because while he was doing that, I was laying on the couch watching Andy Griffith. Yeah. So you have to be careful. It's okay to take care of yourself, but don't get it. This is extreme physical fitness. I got a tour. I name every tour. And this one is Exercise Can Kill You. It's on the news all the time. But you've heard stories about some fellow who'll drop dead jogging. Drop dead jogging. Imagine that. He's got car payments of $300 a month, and the buffoon is out running. And I've never heard a single story about anybody dropping dead, eating banana pudding, watching TV. You know, this is true. You know, we respond to every tragedy in life with food. Could be a law, I don't know. A covered dish. We'll knock on somebody's front door and go, sorry to hear about your son-in-law. Here's some baked beans. We would come in for a minute, but Walmart closes at 12. And if I'm going to that funeral, I need me something real nice to wear. You know, I'll tell you something else about us Baptists. And I'm just assuming y'all are Baptists. Well, look, I'll prove it to you. I want you to applaud if you are Catholic. If you're Catholic, applaud. See? Not many. But we're glad to have you with us. And tell the Pope I said, hey. I know he's been in town this whole week, but I had to work. No, this is true. You know, we respond to every tragedy in life with food. Could be a law, I don't know. A covered dish. We'll knock on somebody's front door and go, sorry to hear about your son-in-law. Here's some baked beans. We would come in for a minute, but Walmart closes at 12. And if I'm going to that funeral, I need me something real nice to wear. You know, I'll tell you something else about us Baptists. And I'm just assuming y'all are Baptists. Well, look, I'll prove it to you. I want you to applaud if you are Catholic. If you're Catholic, applaud. See? Not many. But we're glad to have you with us. And tell the Pope I said, hey. I know he's been in town this whole week, but I had to work. Powerball is $29 million. I've got 100 tickets and a gut feeling that I'm going to win the money. And here's how you'll know if I do. You'll never see my fat ass again. I know that here in Alabama you don't have a lottery, but when the jackpot gets like, to use your expression, way on up there, y'all will drive to the state line. But you just won't mess with it for $2 million. I know I got friends here in Birmingham, and I'll be talking to them on the phone from Atlanta, and I'll say, would you like me to get you some tickets this week? And they'll go, oh no, what's it up to? I go, well, it's just $2 million. They go, no, hell, I ain't gonna mess with it. Like if it's just $2 million, I just shouldn't stay here at Jiffy Lube. And you know what? You know people like this too. You know when you talk about winning the lottery, I think people are just embarrassed to admit that they would quit their job. People say this about winning the lottery and working, they'll go, oh, I don't think I'd quit working altogether. Now, what the hell does that mean? You got $15 million, but you're still going to get up early 2 mornings a week and go into Shoney's and set up that breakfast bar. Well, I'm the only one who knows how to do it. I mean, see, people ask me all the time, They said, now, James, I know you joke around a lot, but seriously, with the kind of job you've got, if you won that lottery, would you really quit working? I go, in a heartbeat. They go, well, what would you do? What would you do? I said, I sat on my front porch naked and wave at cars. See, if you've got $15 million, you can sit on your front porch naked. A family of four can drive by in a station wagon, and a little kid will point up there and go, look, Mama, that man's naked. She said, I know, honey, but he's got $15 million.
I watch TV. Huh?
And you know what? It's probably one of those 400-pound women in those tight polyester pants. Why do they wear that shit? Don't they know how that looks? Is it believable? Is it even conceivable that a woman over 400 pounds can put on a pair of tight polyester pants, then stand in front of a mirror and go, all right? This is the only time in our lives when it's okay to be impolite. If you're at the mall and there's a woman over 400 pounds, it's okay to go up and tap her on the shoulder. When she turns around, you can say, go home, lady. I'm going to puke. Get the hell out of here. You know. It probably. Well, you know. Yeah. It's always, see, the fat people are the ones that's always on a diet. I got an aunt been on a diet for 35 years. Ain't lost a damn pound. You know. In the trial of the fad diets, no, Dr. Stillman, the water diet, you had to drink 14 glasses of water every 24 hours. She lost 2 pounds the first day. Her bladder fell out. So, anyway. But I invented this diet. You write this down. I don't mind. What you do before every meal, you drink a half a pint of Seagram 7. You're still hungry, but you can't find your mouth. But anyway, back to the fat lady. I'm going to tell you a true story related to that subject. When children are 3 or 4 years old, they can be brutally honest. Because they are old enough to talk, that don't mean they're old enough to know about good manners yet. When my nephew was 4 years old, he and I had an A&P on a Sunday afternoon. And in the store that day was the biggest woman I'd ever seen in my life. Ah, damn. It might have been 500 or 600 pounds. Hell, I don't know. I do know that it looked like a crowd. And she had on these tight polyester pants. You know, little irrigation ditches and all. Wearing a real tight sweater, just rolls of fat. Hell, might have been food in there, I don't know. And she was wearing a beeper. The minute my nephew saw her, he said, look at that fat woman. I said, shut up. He said, boy, I said, God damn it. Thank goodness the lady disappeared up the next aisle. But a few moments later, he and I started up that aisle. And at that split second, her beeper went off. Whoa. And my nephew said, "Look out, Uncle James, she's backing up." Thank you very much. You know, if I could be serious for a moment, you know, you hear people say all the time that we Americans aren't as civilized as we used to be, not as humane as we once were. After all these years that have gone by, half the people blame that on Vietnam, the other half blame it on Watergate. I blame the whole situation on Colonel Sanders. And I know you're sitting there and you're saying, I hope he explains that. I will, that's my job. You realize before Colonel Sanders came along, the only thing that ate dinner out of a bucket was a hog? Now he's got everybody doing it. Let's say you go down to the Kentucky Fried Store. They're waiting on the man in front of you. He's about 5'8". He weighs 340 pounds. He can't hardly breathe. And I'm glad to see y'all find that funny. Yeah, man's gasping for air. Yeah, we'll laugh at that. You're my kind of people. Now, you know how they got the menu on the wall over the counter? All this man can do is breathe and point. Like, and the girl says, "Can I help you?" I feel so stupid doing this. At this point in the show every night, you know what thought goes through my mind? James, why don't you just go get a job? It's too late. You know, I could have been a forklift operator. I could. My dad was, and his dad before him. When I got out of high school, my dad could have got me on down there at the plant where he works, just like that. But did I take it? No. I want a bucket of chicken. And then the girl says something ridiculous like, "How do you want that cooked? You want original, extra crispy, or what?" Trust me, people, this man don't care. She could spit in there, he don't care. Give him a live chicken, he'll kill it. She's talking to a human being that's about to eat a bucket of food.